Hey friends, did you know that every day you meet at least 3 people who either envy you or try to deceive you? And the scariest part, you don't even suspect it. Today, I'll reveal what psychologists don't tell you and what ancient Stoics taught about instantly recognizing toxic people. Stay until the end of the video, and you'll learn an exclusive method that Marcus Aurelius himself used to identify traitors in his circle. It's been working flawlessly for 2,000 years. Let's go. Number 1, facial expressions and micro-expressions. The first and most obvious sign is unnatural facial expressions. When someone lies or envies, their face becomes like a mask. You know, as if they're trying to show joy, but something's still off. The ancient Stoics said, "The face is the mirror of the soul, but only for those who know how to look at it." And this is absolutely true. Pay attention to smile asymmetry. If one side rises higher than the other, the person is likely insincere. Many people report noticing these signs in their social circle once they learn about them. Studies show that in 90% of cases, these initial observations prove correct. Watch your conversation partner's eyes. If their gaze starts darting around or becomes too intense when discussing your achievements, that's a sure sign of envy. The Stoics taught, watch those who listen to your victories. A true friend glows from within, while an envious person tries to glow from the outside. Brilliantly put, right? Another crucial detail is hand movement. They subconsciously try to close themselves off, crossing arms, covering their mouth or throat. Here's a life hack. If you notice at least 3 of these signs simultaneously, the probability of lying or envy is 99%. Number 2, speech patterns. Friends, this is going to be mind-blowing. You know how envious people give themselves away through speech? They constantly use certain patterns, and I'm going to tell you about them in such detail that you'll be catching liars in every word. The first sign is devaluation. Yeah, that's easy. Just got lucky. What's the big deal? Familiar phrases? When you talk about your success and hear something similar in response, it's a direct indicator of envy. The Stoics said, envy is the inability to recognize merit. Then there's constant comparison. Well, I would have, my friend achieved more. People literally can't help but insert themselves into your success. And you know what? It's pure defensive reaction from an envious person. Pay attention to intonation. Watch for unnaturally slow speech when suddenly those telling pauses appear before key words. The ancient Stoics called these liars' stumbles. Consider this common situation. When someone buys a new car and their friend says, "Nice ride, probably took out a loan." Feel the poison in those words? That's pure envy. And one super important sign, avoiding direct questions. Ask someone directly, "Don't you like my idea?" and listen to their answer. If it starts with, "Well, how to say," on one hand, you're dealing with either an envious person or a liar. A direct question requires a direct answer. And now, attention. Here's a killer life hack. If you want to test someone's sincerity, tell them about a failure. A true friend will look for solutions to the problem, while an envious person will start giving wise advice and telling you how they foresaw such an outcome. Works flawlessly. Number 3, social media behavior. Okay, folks, now this will completely shatter your expectations. Social media is the true mirror of a modern person's soul. And you know what? Envious people and liars reveal themselves there within the first 3 seconds. I'll tell you how to spot them, and you'll be amazed at how simple it is. First and most obvious, phantom likes. You know these people who like all your posts except those where you've actually achieved something amazing? There it is. The Stoics said, silence can scream louder than words, and on social media this works 200%. A person physically cannot force themselves to like something they envy. The second super revealing moment, comments. Oh, this is just poetry. Watch for people who write things like, "Well, finally," "About time," or "I've been doing this for ages." This is a classic attempt to show superiority while devaluing your achievement. The ancients didn't know about Instagram, but they definitely knew about such people. Now hold tight, stalkers. These people view all your stories in the first minutes, but never react. They study every step, every detail, but pretend you don't interest them at all. Then there are the disappearing followers. You post a success. Oops, minus 2-3 followers. Share great news. Oops, minus a few more. This is a direct sign that people can't handle your growth. And you know what? Rejoice. Toxic people are removing themselves from your life. Now about reposts. Pay attention. If someone reposts all your failures and jokes but ignores achievements, that's about envy. And the most interesting part? They don't even realize how obvious it looks from the side. As Epictetus said, a person's actions scream so loud that I can't hear their words. And here's a killer life hack for dessert. Want to test someone? Launch a fake success story. The truth will surface immediately. Real friends will message you privately and ask what's going on, while envious people will either start hating or silently seethe with anger. Works flawlessly, as countless examples have shown. Number 4, reaction to your failures. Friends, now this will absolutely blow your mind. You know when someone shows their true face? Not in moments of success, in moments of your failure. And now I'll tell you how one setback will make you look at many people with completely different eyes. The first and most disgusting sign, poorly hidden joy. Yeah, you know that look, that fake, oh, how sad, and that barely contained smile. The Stoic said, joy from others' failures is the feast of a poor spirit. And you know what? They were damn right. Another sign, lightning-fast information spread. You've barely mentioned the problem, and within an hour everyone knows, with such juicy details that weren't even real in the first place. It's like they've been waiting years for this moment to savor your failure. Epictetus called such people collectors of others' falls. Then there's toxic support. Well, I told you so. It was obvious it would end this way. If only you had listened to me. Seems like they're giving advice, but actually they're hitting where it hurts. The Stoics called this honey with poison. Sweet on the outside, deadly on the inside. A separate category, hindsight experts. All these, I saw right away it was a bad idea. Anyone could see. Where were you with your genius advice earlier? Right, waiting for the moment to shine with your supposed wisdom against the backdrop of someone else's failure. But the most telling sign, the absence of concrete help. A true friend will ask, how can I help? While an envious person will spend a long time discussing how bad everything is, give useless advice, but won't lift a finger to actually help. Marcus Aurelius said, actions speak louder than philosophizing. And here's a killer life hack. Announce a fake failure and carefully observe the reaction. Real friends will offer solutions. Toxic people will start lamenting and spreading the news. And remember the golden rule of the Stoics. Failure is not the opposite of success, but part of it. And those who don't understand this don't deserve to be around you. Number 5, communication style with others. This is going to be explosive, friends. You know what Seneca said? Want to know someone? Watch how they talk about others in their absence. And this works 100%. I'll teach you to read people by how they communicate with others. First warning bell, constant discussion of others. If someone's always telling you about others' failures and mistakes, guess what they do when you're not around? Right, they discuss you. The Stoics said, a mouth full of gossip cannot be clean of envy. Second, super revealing moment, sharp shifts in communication style. Look, they're maximally polite and servile with important people, but condescending and rude with those they consider beneath them. Classic manipulation. Epictetus called such people chameleons of the soul. They change their behavior depending on what benefits them. A separate topic, public humiliation of others. You know these people who love to joke about someone in front of everyone or make constructive remarks in group settings. This is a direct sign of toxicity. They raise their status by putting others down. Guess who's next in line? Now the golden marker, attitude toward others' successes. Observe how someone reacts to others' achievements. If they constantly find ways to diminish or devalue others' success, you're dealing with a classic envious person. Marcus Aurelius said, "Envy cannot praise sincerely." Such people love creating conflicts between others by passing information in a distorted way. You know what they said about you? Their favorite phrase. The Stoics called this poison for relationships. And here's a super life hack for testing. Deliberately tell such a person some harmless secret about yourself. If everyone knows about it within a week, congratulations, you've just caught a toxic person. Now imagine what they do with really important information. Number 6, attitude toward your goals and dreams. This point is a goldmine for identifying toxic people. Here's why. It's exactly where they show their true face when you share your plans and dreams. Their reaction will tell you more than 1,000 words. First red flag, constant evaluation of your goals. Drop it, it's unrealistic. You can't do it. Why do you need this? Familiar phrases? Toxic people love cutting wings at takeoff. Why? Because your success is their personal pain. Second point, toxic realism. They call themselves realists, but actually just project their fears and failures onto you. "I'm just concerned about you," their favorite excuse. But concern shouldn't kill dreams, right? A particularly dangerous type, these well-wishers who constantly remind you about possible failures. What if it doesn't work out? Have you thought about the risks? They bombard you with negative scenarios until you start doubting yourself. Next sign, joy at setbacks. When something goes wrong, they react with such pleasure that it immediately becomes clear they were waiting for this moment. And when something works out for you, they find ways to diminish your achievements. You just got lucky. Here's an interesting point, competitive toxicity. When you share a goal, they immediately start talking about their own more impressive plans, or conversely, start complaining about life, drawing attention to themselves. Classic manipulation. And the final touch, people who try to make your goals their own. "Let me help you. You won't manage without me." They create dependency to manipulate you later. What to do? Remember the main rule. Your dreams and goals are your personal territory. Not everyone deserves to know about them. Share plans only with those who sincerely support you in failures. For everyone else, a polite smile and minimal information. Number 7, guilt trip manipulation. Friends, now we'll break down toxic people's most powerful weapon, guilt manipulation. It's like psychological jujitsu. They use your conscience against you, and they do it masterfully even without realizing it. "You never think about me after everything I've done for you." Sound familiar? They turn any situation into drama where you're inevitably the villain, and suddenly you feel guilty without understanding why. Second clever move, reminding about debt. They constantly bring up old stories. "Remember when I helped you?" Any help in their understanding isn't an act of kindness, but an investment in future manipulation, especially insidious technique, emotional blackmail. "If you really loved me, you would." A real friend wouldn't act like this. They equate your feelings with their desires, and there you are, doing things you don't want to do. And here's a classic passive aggression. Instead of direct conversation, they demonstratively sigh, make sour faces, give one-word answers. And when you ask what's wrong, comes the signature, "Nothing, everything's fine," though it clearly isn't. Next level, predicting catastrophes. "If you don't do this, something terrible will happen." All disasters happen because of your refusal to help or submit. And the cherry on top, comparison with others. Well, Sarah always helps her parents. Everyone else has normal children, but you, They use other people as a club to beat your self-esteem and provoke guilt. How to protect yourself? First rule, remember that guilt should be proportional to the transgression. If they're trying to make you feel like a terrible person over something minor, that's manipulation. Second rule, your boundaries are more important than others' desires. And third, no is a complete sentence that doesn't require justification. Number 8, reaction to your boundaries. Attention, friends, this is one of the most revealing signs of toxicity. It's like litmus paper. Just say a firm no, and their true nature shows instantly. First typical scenario, righteous indignation. When you set boundaries, they react as if you've committed a crime against humanity. How can you do this to me after everything we've been through? Classic phrases from their arsenal. Second point, devaluing your boundaries. They start ridiculing your needs. Oh, aren't we delicate? What nonsense, you're overthinking this. The goal is simple, make you doubt the adequacy of your requirements. A particularly sophisticated method, temporary retreat. They seem to agree with your boundaries, but then start methodically violating them bit by bit like water eroding stone, gradually but persistently. And soon, you're back at square one. Here's another interesting point, emotional escalation. When you try to defend your boundaries, they deliberately raise the drama level. They might throw a tantrum, start crying, or threaten to end the relationship, all to make you give in and back down. Next level, reality distortion. You misunderstood everything. That never happened. You're just paranoid. The goal is to make you doubt your own perception of reality. And of course, we can't forget about recruiting allies. They start complaining about you to other people, creating an army of support. Can you believe what she is doing? And soon everyone's telling you you're too demanding and selfish. What to do? First, remember that your right to boundaries is non-negotiable. It's a basic human need. Second, a person's reaction to your boundaries shows their true attitude towards you. And third, if someone doesn't respect your boundaries after a calm explanation, that's not your problem. It's their choice. Number 9, time and energy manipulation. Now we'll talk about how toxic people turn your time and energy into their personal resource. It's like energy vampirism, but professionally executed. And the most interesting part, they do it so skillfully that you don't even notice how your resource gets depleted. First technique, urgent dramas. They always have something critical happening exactly when you need to focus on your own matters. This is urgent. It's a matter of life and death. And there you are, dropping everything to save the situation. Second clever move, eternal debtors. They constantly ask for small favors that turn out to be not so small. It'll only take 5 minutes, they say, and you end up spending several hours, and you can't solve anything definitively. Once you help them once, you get caught in a whirlpool of their endless crises. Every solution breeds a new problem. Here's another classic, emotional swings. They either shower you with attention and praise or suddenly become cold and distant, and you spend enormous energy trying to understand what's happening. Next level, information overload. They flood you with messages, calls, demand immediate reaction to everything. If you don't respond instantly, drama ensues. Your personal space? Never heard of it. And a special technique, blurring time boundaries. They call late at night or early morning. You're home anyway. What plans could you have on a weekend? Familiar phrases? How to protect yourself. First, establish clear time boundaries for communication. Second, learn to say no without explanations. Third, remember that your time and energy are valuable resources that need to be preserved. And fourth, someone else's crisis doesn't necessarily have to become your priority. Number 10, relationship manipulation. Friends, now we'll discuss the most delicate topic, how toxic people manipulate in close relationships. This could be a partner, family member, or close friend. Here, manipulations are especially painful because they hit what's most precious, our feelings. First sign, emotional roller coaster. Today, you're the best person in the world. Tomorrow, the worst thing that's happened to them. Such sharp swings knock you off balance, forcing you to constantly prove your love and loyalty. Second point, control disguised as care. I worry about you. I need to know where you are. Sounds sweet, right? But in reality, it's total control that suffocates your freedom and independence. They check your phone, social media, social circle, particularly dangerous technique, isolation. They gradually distance you from friends and family. Your friends are a bad influence. Your family doesn't understand our love. The goal is simple: make you completely emotionally dependent on them. And here's a genre classic: shifting responsibility. If something goes wrong, it's always your fault. You made me do it. If you hadn't, they never acknowledge their mistakes and always find a way to blame you. Next level, intimacy manipulation in romantic relationships. They use closeness as a control tool, might withhold affection or demand it as proof of love. It's a form of emotional blackmail. And a special technique, triangulation. They create artificial competition by talking about other potential partners or constantly comparing you with someone. Well, Peter would never act like this. The goal is to make you constantly prove your worth. How to protect yourself? First, remember that healthy relationships are built on trust and respect, not control and manipulation. Second, maintain your independence, financial and emotional. Third, don't allow yourself to be isolated from support of loved ones. And most importantly, love shouldn't cause pain. Friends, you've just learned 10 time-tested ways to recognize envy and lies. Remember the main rule of the Stoics: better a bitter truth than a sweet lie. If this video was helpful for you, hit like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss new videos. Write in the comments what toxic people you've encountered in your life. Let's discuss it together. See you in the next video.